So, apparently Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was gonna be in Madam Web. Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? I hope you're having an amazing day, and today we're gonna be talking about some crazy rumors being spread about the new Madam Web movie coming out this year. And I think it's safe to say that nobody cares about this movie. I mean, looking at the trailer, the dislike ratio has double the size of the like ratio, which says that nobody actually cares about this movie. The past Marvel movies Sony has made also influence people to not really care or give a shit about these next projects, so that really helps a lot. But recently, from a Hollywood insider, Jeff Snyder reported that Madam Web was doing reshoots, removing Spider-Man connections, and one of these connections was that Andrew Garfield was going to be appearing in this movie. And you know what? That kind of made sense. Andrew is a Spider-Man of the Sony universe, and the fact that Madam Web is a Spider-Man related movie and character, it would make sense for Spider-Man to be in it. So honestly, why would you not have Spider-Man even somewhat be included? And that's the one thing that kind of confuses me when we have the Venom movies, the Morbius movie, and now the upcoming Kraven the Hunter movie, is that the fact that Spider-Man is not being featured in any of these movies, when these villains are seen from Spider-Man storylines. They're popular because of Spider-Man, so again, why not include Spider-Man? But at the same time, if Andrew would have been part of this movie, it was so obvious that the producers just wanted fans to go to the theaters and see this movie because Andrew Garfield was going to be in it. They wouldn't have done anything new with him anyways, and honestly, I'd rather not see Andrew than see his character very wasted in a movie like this. I think this goes to show how bad this movie is going to be, considering that the trailer wasn't that good, and the fact that they're doing reshoots and cuts means they obviously just didn't plan this out. But hold on, it gets worse. Now, I don't think this is confirmed, but it has been thrown out there, and keep in mind this is still from Jeff Snyder. Apparently, Sony cut Andrew and wanted to replace him with Tom Holland. Yeah, you heard that right. Check this out. For whatever reasons, says host Jeff Snyder, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was supposed to be Spider-Man in that world, and afterwards it was decided it's gonna be Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Snyder continued the reason for this due to the timeline disparity. Madam Web was originally set in the 90s with appearances from Garfield, but when Sony made the choice to ultimately go with Holland, the 90s setting didn't make sense anymore. And I'm sitting there reading this, and I'm just like, that's the reason? That's the reason why they cut Tom Holland? Oh yeah, let's add Tom Holland's Spider-Man despite he's in a completely different universe, and we're gonna need to add some bullshit way to add Spider-Man and make this movie worse. Wait, never mind, we can't do that because the 90s setting doesn't make sense anymore. Like, what? Again, let's remember that these are still rumors, so I don't want to act like they're true. However, I wholeheartedly believe that these ideas have crossed the mind of the producers of these movies, and that honestly scares me. Why would you even consider or even think about adding Tom Holland in this and think it's an option to do? Look, I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but there's just no reason for him to be in here because he's not in the same universe. It just doesn't make sense why you would add him here. Just why? Andrew Garfield makes more sense than Tom Holland as he is part of that universe. It just goes to show the state of where Sony is right now considering Spider-Man, as they have no idea what they're doing. Even if these rumors weren't true, I still stand by that statement, considering we have Morbius, and now we're getting a Kraven the Hunter movie and a Madam Web movie. I think it still baffles me that they didn't make or announce plans to make an Amazing Spider-Man 3 movie. It's obvious that these movies are cash grabs, and they just want money. And I don't think it's a crazy assumption to make. What I don't get is that an Amazing Spider-Man 3 film with Andrew Garfield will make so much more money than all these movies combined, and Sony is just not doing it. And that's true because after No Way Home, people have been seriously pushing for a third film for Andrew Garfield, and all Sony needs to do is just make it good. That's it. It ain't that hard. It's obviously not going to be the best, but you can still make it great. I just can't get over the fact that Sony, who obviously wants money, are looking at a gold mine that's in front of their eyes right now, and they're not even making the effort to reach for it. People don't want Spider-Man villain solo movies. I'll accept Venom, okay? I actually like the Venom movies. That's actually another thing I kind of wanted to get into. What are these movies for? I mean, they're obviously cash grabs, but what about in terms of like the story? I feel like since we're in the multiverse like in the MCU right now, I feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man will face Morbius and Kraven from the Sony universe eventually, but I don't know, something about that just feels wrong, and it makes me worried that if they're gonna do that with every other villain for Spider-Man, Black Cat, Chameleon, Hobgoblin, Scorpion, Tombstone, Mr. Negative, are all these guys gonna get solo films? Are all these villains just not going to be in part of the MCU world? Like, what's going on here? It's not just the fact that these movies are unnecessary, it's just that they don't even try to stay loyal to the characters. If you're gonna make a solo movie about a Spider-Man villain, at least keep them as a villain. They're villains for a reason, they're the ones in the wrong. You don't need to make villains anti-heroes in order for us to understand or even feel for them. There's actually a movie that proves my last statement. Actually, it was released last year and is a part of one of the most popular movie and book franchises out there. Oh, and look at that, it made $200 million more than its budget. When you actually make a decent movie and give something the fans want, you'll get a much bigger reward than all these movies will make combined. And all it takes is putting in a little more work. That's it. Again, it's crazy how we keep getting these movies instead of the movies we could be getting. At this point, it's just coming down to laziness and not caring, and that's very unfortunate because I love Marvel movies and I want them to succeed and meet those expectations, and the fact that Sony considered making one of the worst decisions in a movie scares me, and it just proves my point that they're lazy and just do not care about their projects. Again, keep in mind that the stuff with Andrew and Tom is alleged, so let's try and not blow the situation out of proportion. Anyways, I think that's going to wrap up this little rant I had for this video. If you made it all the way through, let me know what you guys think of the situation in the comments below, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.